Okay, now let's gonna use PyCharm, okay, to code the student, resident student, and commuter student. So it's gonna load PyCharm. It's loading. Okay. For example, I'm gonna create a Python file called student. Okay. Okay, and here we're gonna code the class student. Okay. Okay. So you see, we have the attribute name and mayor, right? Okay, so let's go define the initializer methods with name and how many attributes? Two, name and mayor, right? Okay, and then same thing that we were doing before. Self the name equal name, self that mayor equal mayor, right? Nothing new. Okay, so basically the super class is gonna be the same thing that we were doing before. No changes. Okay. Mm, now just gonna code the setter and they get the flag. Fine. Set. Let's gonna follow the same standard, okay? Set name. It's here. Okay, so same thing. When we're gonna modify the name, you need a new name, right? So now you're gonna use self dot name equal name. Simple. The setter, the same thing that we did before. Now let's gonna define the get name. Get name, right? So it's gonna return name. So we have the set and get name implemented. Now let's gonna do the same thing for the mayor, right? Okay. Uh, self dot mayor equal mayor. Yes. Remember that when you wanna modify the attribute, you use self dot the name of the attribute. So you're modifying the attribute with whatever you receive in the variable mayor there. Okay. So save. Perfect. Okay. Now, what is a human layer? Let's gonna create the resident student. Okay, PyCharm. Mm, new Python file. Let's gonna call resident. For student. I naming the file different than the class resident student. You see, lowercase resident underscore student different because I want you know how to uh, import, right? From a student, import the class student. We're gonna see that now. Okay, Python file. Okay, now the resident student is gonna use what? The class student. The resident student is gonna inherit everything from student. So you have to use here student. Remember? So we can use from a student because the file is a student, lowercase. From the file student, import the class student. Okay? This is the tricky part. From a student, the name of the file, import the class student. Now we can define the class resident student. Now you see the class have different name than the file. The file is resident underscore student, everything lowercase. Right? You recording? Okay, recording. Okay. And the class is resident student together, capitalizing the first letter of the word. Okay. Mm, what else? Uh, okay. Let's gonna create the class resident student. So how can we establish the relationship between the class and the subclass, the superclass and the subclass? How can we establish that this subclass is going to inherit from a superclass? Let me show you here in PyCharm. Okay, here in the class resident, you're going to place inside parentheses the name of the superclass. See that? By doing so, you're telling Python, hey, just in case this is a subclass from the class student. Okay, and then you code the same thing. Type initializer. Okay, now to have a resident student, you need the name of the student, you need the major, but now you need that DOM cost. So you need DOM cost, but this resident student must have a name and major, right? We're gonna get that from the parent class here. Okay, so this is why we use here name, major, and DOM cost. Okay, so now you are gonna set the name and the major, but where are name and major? Name and major in the student class. Oh, okay, so name and major somehow I have to call then from the superclass, and dorm cost is gonna be just here. How can I do that? Type in the name of the superclass, okay, and then here you're gonna call what? You're gonna call here the init from it, that appearing student, because this init set name and major. Okay, again, in the parent class, the init set name and major. So now in the subclass, you need to set up name and major. So this is why we're calling here the class, the superclass dot init self, and we have to pass name and major. Okay, so see the tricky part here. Here in the init that correspond to resident student, we are gonna call the init in the student class here. And we're gonna pass the name and the major. You're gonna receive name and major and set the attribute properly. Okay? So this is a tricky part. In the initializer, okay, or constructor, in this method, you will have to call the init that exists in the superclass. Okay? Okay. Now, as you see here, we are setting the name and the major using the init that exists in student. Now, we need to set up the dorm cost, right? Dorm cost equal dorm cost. Now, the initializer method is completed. Now we'll proceed with the set and get. Okay. Set dorm cost. Dorm cost, right? So we're gonna modify the dorm cost with the new value that we are receiving here. Sales dot dorm cost is the attribute equal whatever you are receiving in dorm cost. And the getter now, right? Right? That dorm cost. Let's return. Snapshot dorm cost. Beautiful, right? So instead of to code name, major, and dorm cost directly here, for name and major, you use the superclass. And for dorm cost, use self dorm cost because you are the object is gonna use the when you create the object, you are going to be able to execute this method internally. And the other cost is going to be the attribute because you're using self. Whatever you receive here is going to apply the attribute dot cost, right? So similar with the setter. And then the get. So resident student is done. Now we need to create which other class? Oh, the community student, right? I guess let me double check. Community student, yes. Uh, right click, new. File. Uh, community student, right? Okay. Same thing. From student lowercase, right? Student is the name of the file. From student, import. Now import the class. Perfect. Now class community student. Okay. Same thing. Let's gonna define the init, right? So which method do we have to create? First thing, the init, right? Same thing that we did before. So you need the name, right? You need the mayor, right? Correct? Name, mayor, and parking cost. Same thing. Using student dot init, right? Let's gonna call the initializer for student. We are in the class commuter student, so we receive name, mayor, and parking costs. And now let's gonna use the student class and execute the initializer method with this parameter. So here, student in itself, name, parking cost, right? Correct. So we are calling same thing that we did here. Okay. And now set the parking cost. Parking cost equal parking cost. Okay, so we define the initializer. And now we're gonna define the set Parking costs. Right. Okay. Same thing. Self dot parking cost equal parking costs. And then the getter. Get parking costs. Okay. So we finished to code the commuter student and the resident students. Now let's gonna create a class to help us to test that everything is correct. Okay, so now let's gonna create a new class to verify if what we did worked. We recap. We have a class student, super class, with name and major. We have resident student that call the superclass, passing the name and major. So this is the initializer in the superclass. So a student is going to take care of that. For dorm costs, we set up here. Set dorm costs and get dorm costs. Nothing new. Commuter student, same thing here. Let's gonna use the superclass to take care of name and parking costs. I forgot something here. How can we tell that this is a subclass? I have to tell here student, right? Yes. Now we're telling, hey, Python, just in case commuter student is a subclass of a student. Perfect. Good. So let's gonna create a new file. Let's gonna call the student demo. Okay. Um, let's gonna test resident student. Okay. We're gonna create a resident student object. We're gonna use the file resident student, the class resident student, and we need to provide name, major, name, major computer science, and resident student, dorm cost, right? Let's gonna see if that work. Student name. Okay. Yay. See that? We see get names, set name, door cost, everything. So now student name, just get name. Mayor, right? Okay. We will set up the get mayor, right? Gonna create that. Correct. Set mayor and now get mayor. Get mayor, just return that. Save. See that? Get name, get mayor. Now magically appear there, right? Perfect. For the dorm cost, rs dot get or you can use dorm cost. 20 really quick to run and test. Wow, amazing. So everything is transferred for the resident student. Whatever we did here, it's calling the super class, whatever. Here, you just use the resident student class as a regular object. Internally, yes, you do crazy things. But this crazy thing help you to automate your code now. Okay? So you can do the same thing for community student, right? So do that and get some reports. So okay, I hope this video helped. Let me stop recording now and it's gonna do another video.